Hey everyone, RC here giving you the first look at a new development from the folks at Phottix, the Odin II. It's a great new transmitter and receiver system positioned to give you great control over your expanding set of off-camera flash. Now, I wanted to take you through some of the details of the Odin II and why you're going to want to consider this for your new transmitter from the folks at Phottix. Now, one of the first things that you'll notice that's a great step forward on the Odin II is the amount of groups that you can control. You have direct access and control of 5 groups, whereas the previous model, you could only control 3. This means that you have additional lights at your disposal, complete control to give you just the amount of effect that you need. Think of it this way. Most lighting setups consist of a main, a fill, and a hair light, right? That doesn't leave you too much room to try for a background light or an accent light. The extra 2 groups can totally help you here. Now, another upgrade on the Odin II is the amount of channels that you're going to get. You're going from 4 channels on the original Odin to 32 channels, and a new digital ID system for channels 5 through 32. That can further eliminate accidental pops. Keep in mind that for these extra channels and digital ID, you're going to need to use the Odin II receiver for this. Now, why would you care about this? Well, picture this. If you're a photographer that's working amongst other photographers, you certainly don't want someone triggering their camera to pop your lights, right? Not a good thing. You need your power and your lights ready for when you need them. So having 32 channels gives you a lot of room to move. All you have to do is just use a different channel, right? Now, add to that the digital ID system into the mix, and you can be sure that only your camera controls your lights. Very, very beneficial. Now, another thing that I think is pretty cool here. On the Odin II, it comes with an AF Assist illuminator. Now, this is a nice feature to have for getting great focus on your image, and if you don't have one on your camera, now they've solved another problem for you. You also have this where it can support high-speed sync at 1/8,000th of a second. Now, the Odin II is compatible with the Odin I in channels 1 through 4, and like the Odin I, it can control the power and trigger Indra 500, Indra 360 studio lights, Mitros flashes, or Canon, Nikon, and Sony flashes that are mounted in either an Odin I or an Odin II receiver. And we'll talk about that in a second. The other good thing that's here is using this system, you can also control zoom. So right now you have access for zoom control, and you can control the zoom for Mitros Plus flashes or Canon, Nikon, and Sony flashes mounted on an Odin I or an Odin II trigger. You can also control Strato 2, Strato 1 receivers for Canon, Nikon, and Sony, and Atlas II transceivers. Now, one of the other things that I think is really cool about this is this wheel. The button system on the original Odin was cool, but I tend to prefer to have a wheel where it kind of lets me dial in exactly what I need, right? You press the button, and you turn the wheel, you're pretty much good, right? I think it makes it a little bit faster. The unit feels pretty good. It feels solid without being too overbearing or heavy on the unit. The other 2 standout features for me: 1, you can control the actual modeling light right from here, right? So if you're using an Indra, you can control that light right from that button in this one section here. The other thing is this. AA batteries. It makes it really convenient to power these things, and you're in the middle of a job. You don't want to necessarily have to go out and find a specialized battery for it or remember to charge it. Having that, I think, is a great feature. Now, one of the other features that they have in the Odin II is Overdrive sync. Now, this lets you use studio-type flashes for high sync speeds over 250th of a second. ODS eliminates adjusting the flash and it triggering for best results. You even have rear curtain sync support on the Nikon and Sony side, all controlled from the camera menu. Now, Odin has also introduced the Odin II receiver, and this is an attachment for your flashes that will give you the added bonus of extra groups, extra channels, and digital IDs on your existing flashes. So all you have to do at this point is just slide that in, and you're pretty much good to go. Once you have the system up and running, power can be controlled right from the transmitter here. Click on one of these, and there's your power, right? You can control mode and power levels with great ease. Here's a situation that I don't think many people think about, but could be handy to you. Imagine if you have a 5-light setup, right? There could be time where those last 2 flashes are totally out of the picture, right? Hidden behind a background or tucked somewhere where the camera can calculate an exposure for. Well, here you have the option to run a TTL manual mix setting scenario, setting the groups lighting the front of your subject to TTL, then go over here And now you're dialing in just the power that you need by switching them over to manual. I can't tell you how many times that's helped me, right? And that's gonna be a lifesaver to you. I think that the Odin II system from Phottix is a great step up for photographers looking to expand on their photographic vision or make sure that they're set from the start with rock solid technology that grows with them. If you want to see more on the Odin II, make sure you check it out over at PhottixUS.com. My name is RC. Thanks for watching.